All right, I'm on hole number 4 of the City of Light tournament in Tuesday's qualifying round in the rookie division. Let's go to hole number 4. And that's one of the par 3s. I'm going at it with the Guardian, and I'm going right at it. I'm trying to avoid all these moguls, and I want to get up into this area right here so that I can take the sand out of play, this sand out of play, these moguls out of play, and I want to go right at the hole. Now, what I did find, and what I'm learning here on this hole is that it kind of goes like this. Here's the green, and here's the flag. And right on the other side of the flag, it goes downhill. So normally, like if here's the cup, I come in, and my first bounce on a backspin shot, I usually put even with the cup. And then, well, the first bounce is here. The second bounce is even with the cup. And then that third bounce is where you start to get that drawback where it draws back to the hole. So I usually put that bounce slightly behind the hole. And what's happening here is that when I put it slightly behind the hole, it's engaging this hill. So when it hits, it's not sucking it up the hill. It's releasing and actually rolling down that hill. And I'm losing some distance. So I'm gonna set it up today where I've got my third bounce, the one that's actually drawing back to the hole, right at the cup, and then see what that does. Because I know if I set the second bounce up right at the cup, it's actually rolling out, and I'm back here. I'm like 5 yards off. So I want to see what kind of a difference that makes, and see if I'm getting any drawback or if it's still rolling down the hill. And I'm going to keep working that as the week goes on to try and dial that in. So then in the weekend round, I got a serious shot to get a hole-in-one here. So I'm going to take a Guardian, and my notes say Katana. To be honest with you, I have no idea why I picked a Katana, but there might be a red line issue, so we'll check that out here. My previous notes, the last time we played this is how it was set up, was a Guardian and a Katana, so I just wrote those notes down. Hole number 4. I'm not messing around with the backspin. I'm going to do a full backspin shot, so I'm going to do maximum backspin. And in my opinion, when you're doing these shots onto the green, if you can do a shot where you don't have to add any side spin, I prefer to do the shot with no side spin. Because if I don't have any side spin in the shot, that's one less variable. So I'm going to go at it straight with backspin. It's 1.2. Do some quick math here while my opponent's playing. 1.2 times 1.25. It's 1.5. 1.2 times 1.5. It's 1.8. So my Guardian numbers are 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 8. I was writing those down on my notes. Yeah, let's get up here in Guardian range. Okay, now where are we in my club? There's Min. There's Max. So we're about mid-club. So it should be the 1.5 per ring. Yeah, I'm going to come back just a little and put that right in the cup. .5, so that's about a 2-ring pull. Just need to hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Should get a pretty good read here. And it's carrying a little bit longer. So I either need to do a bigger wind adjustment. And on the other side of the green, there's a little hill, and when it hits that hill, it's popping up a little more. You need to do a bigger wind adjustment, or I need to set that ball up back just a little. I'm going to keep working that. Keep working it. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. You don't normally get that kind of movement when you're doing those backspin shots. For it to release forward like that, It's just on how it's coming in there. The pin is kind of on a mound, so I think on one side, on this side, it's hitting. I will forfeit. Good luck in the tournament. Let's get back to the screen here. I think what's happening there is that when you're coming up to the green, I think that the pin. So here's the flagpole. The pin looks like it's on a mound, and so when I'm hitting on this side right here, it's actually making the ball trajectory go higher than it normally would. So if it was on the flat and it bounced, then this bounce right here, when it goes for its second bounce, it can start digging in with its backspin. It hits on that third bounce and then it sucks it back towards the hole. And I think what's happening is when it flies in, it's hitting that hill face, and that hill face is making it bounce higher than it normally would, and that's why it's coming out on the other side of the hole. So I mean, I'm going to need to come back a little bit further. I'm not necessarily sure that it's a wind adjustment, and it may be. But regardless of that, if you hit it straight out, I was right at the hole. So as far as like flight trajectory and stuff goes, it looked pretty decent. It's just that I was way off as far as like anticipating what the backspin was going to do. So instead of putting that third bounce where it's right in the hole like I did there, I'm going to move that back. And I'm going to start it off about the distance from where the second bounce is to the third bounce. I'm going to set it that distance away from the cup and then see how it releases. And I'm just going to keep working that shot. And what I'm looking for, here's what I'm looking for. Here's the flag. I want to be flag high. And it doesn't matter if I'm to the left or the right, but I want to be flag high because then that tells me where I need to start out at here. Once I figure out the distance, then I can start trying to dial in whether or not I need to do a wind adjustment as far as for the right or the left to try and dial it into the hole. But right now, I don't even have the distance right. So that's why I'm just using my normal wind numbers, and I'm just trying to establish what the distance is. So once I get this distance so that I'm actually, if I was on trajectory, I would go in the hole, then I can start trying to dial in the trajectory. All right. That was hole number 4 of the City of Light tournament in the qualifying round of the Rookie Division. Thanks for watching.